Hello today, guys. My name's Nestor, and this is Barca Ball. And today we're going to be discussing the Champions League. We're going to see who I think will go all the way to the final and win it all. We're going to be discussing the round of 16s, which is a very difficult picks to make, honestly. I've had a lot of trouble with it. I've thought about them a lot, and I think that you guys will be very intrigued with my picks and why I think these teams are going to go through and why some of these teams are not going to go through. Well, let's start off right off the bat with the ones that I think are pretty easy picks for everybody, and I mean, kind of the obvious picks. So let's talk about RB Leipzig versus Real Madrid. I think Madrid's gonna go through. As a Barca fan, I really wish that Madrid wasn't gonna go through, but I mean, they're really good in the Champions League year over year. I have a lot of faith in them at least getting past the round of 16. They also drew a fairly easy opponent compared to drawing a Bayern or a Madrid or an Inter, you know. So I think they drew a fairly easy opponent for their level at least. And I have Madrid beating them. I think Jude with Rodri um, will just have too much going forward. I think they don't have um, Leipzig doesn't have enough with Xavi Simons and coming in. I don't think Xavi Simons can do it enough. He's a bit too young, and I think the RB Leipzig team just doesn't have the group to get past Real Madrid. I mean, we'll see, but I have Madrid probably winning that on aggregate. Um, let's go with 5-2. I think 5-2 will be a good one. I think it's gonna be like a 3-1 and then a 2-1 maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make predictions on scores because these are gonna be pretty tough. The second one that's pretty easy to say, I would say, is the Copenhagen and Man City. I think Copenhagen, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna get blown out. I think it's gonna be a thrashing both home and away. I don't think it's gonna be close. I know City are not going through their best moment. At the moment and going through like their midseason slump, but it's their midseason slump, and I'm sure they'll pick it up. I'm sure they're gonna get some wins in the Prem, and I'm sure they're gonna get back in form and at least get past the round of 16. If not, it would be a total failure for the season. A lot of people might be even calling for Pep's head after that, and I just don't think will happen. So, yeah, Copenhagen are gonna be out of the Champions League. I think they probably got the toughest draw out of everybody, and I mean, yeah, that just really sucks for Copenhagen. And I mean, City are probably going to win fairly easy. I think De Bruyne's also coming back in fairly soon. Yeah, I mean, Holland, Julian Alvarez, De Bruyne, Rodri, like it's just very difficult for them to hold that, and we'll see. So yeah, I have them probably winning like honestly, like I could see an aggregate being like 7-1, but honestly, I want to say it's probably going to be like a 6-1. I'd say 6-1. Let's go with 6-1. Um, and then let's keep moving on to the Bayern game, Bayern Lazio as well. Like I think Bayern Lazio, tough break for Lazio, but Bayern's gonna like destroy you. I think that one's gonna be like actually the probably like between Man City and Copenhagen and Lazio and Bayern. I really wonder who's gonna be like better on aggregate. That's very fun. So write down in the comments what your score predictions are, who you think is going to win by the biggest margin on aggregate. And yeah, please remember like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, well, Bayern's going to move on fairly obviously. I think everybody knows, or at least everyone's assuming, unless Lazio comes out with like a masterclass in coaching and tech and tactics. I just really don't see them getting past Bayern. Uh, Muller's in really good shape, as the last video said. Kane is still has been breaking records in the Bundesliga, and I mean Musiala's doing amazing as well. Neuer's still pretty solid end goal, and then their defense is pretty great, honestly. Alfonso Davis will be flying up the left side, and I'm excited to at least watch the game, at least the first game, see how things go for them. It'll be very entertaining, I think. Then let's go to Porto Arsenal. I know it's really cheesy to be like, hey, I'm sure I'm picking all the favorites to move on. I know I'm gonna stick with it. I'm saying Arsenal win. I think it's gonna be scary for them. I'm not sure where they're playing first. If they do play in Portugal first, I think Porto will win that one. I think Porto will win at home regardless. Right now, I think Porto will go like 2-1, and I think at the Emirates, Arsenal will just get it done. Um, I think Arsenal will probably win that game 3-1, and I think the score line on aggregate is probably going to be very close. I think it might be 3-2. I think that might be an option for them. I don't really see them like battering Porto. I don't really see them scoring that much. At least away from home, Arsenal. But yeah, I know these have been the favorites at least from everybody. I swear it's not just me picking the favorites on every single one. I have like it's just like these are like the easy picks, and I'm gonna move on from that. So I'm gonna move on to like a very personal pick at least. I'm Barca Napoli. That's going to be very interesting, at least for me. This is going to determine a lot of how um, Barcelona fans feel about Xavi. I think that's going to be very showing with the Champions League, at least because Xavi's not going through a great moment right now in the Liga, and we'll see after this January with the acquisition of Victor Roque coming in. We'll see how much he plays. I'm very excited to see what he does. But on the other hand, Napoli have already the one of the best strikers in Europe with Victor Osimhen, and they also have Kvaratskhelia. So we're gonna see what happens in the what people have been calling it the Maradona Derby, at least. Um, I I'm very interested. I think Barcelona can squeak by. I know right now Napoli did win their league last season. Barca did as well, but at least at the moment, I think Napoli are not in such a great spot compared to Barca, and we'll see how they do. At least going into those games. But for now, I definitely have Barca winning that game. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable win, though. I think it's going to be a nail biter. That's probably one of the most interesting games, at least in the round of 16s. And yeah, I mean, Barca squeezing a win out, I think. But I'm feel that like maybe that might be where Barca just end like their Champions League and European hopes at least. But we'll see. Obviously, we'll see how Barca take. I just don't think Napoli are in a great spot right now. I don't see them being cohesive enough, and I think their main problem right now is coaching. Um, their coach left after winning the league, and now I feel the club is a little bit in disarray, and they haven't found their identity yet, at least. So that's why I'm favoring Barca in this one, not just because I'm being a fanboy. I'm trying to be objective about it. Um, but yeah, so let's move on to the two like I would say the closest games in my eyes at least right now. We'll save the best game I think for last. So let's go to PSG Real Sociedad. So a lot of people might think that I'm going to pick PSG. I'm not. I actually think Real Sociedad have enough to beat PSG, and that's surprising at least for a lot of people. But I know PSG are good. I know Dembele and Mbappe, but they let's not get this mistaken. They barely won their group. It wasn't like it was like a comfortable win. It wasn't like it was a great group that they're having. It doesn't seem like they're having a great season in Europe, and they're not. Um, and some people might even question about like, hey, should they even be in here? Because like that, the last minute penalty against Newcastle, VAR definitely got that wrong. So a lot of people might even question the validity of PSG still being in this tournament. I think this will be the end of them, though. I think Mbappe can't carry this team all on his back. I think it's a little bit too much for him. He's trying to carry them in League On and the Champions League. It's just a lot of competition, it's a lot of games for him, and I just don't see him getting that much help. And unless they bring someone in drastically, it will change in January, which I don't think they will. I'm picking Real Sociedad. I think Kubo's really good. I think Kubo will be able to help this team a lot with their midfield. I don't remember exactly, but it's Zubamenti. Yeah, Zubamenti. Um, but I mean with Menti, and then I think Zubamenti is really good as a pivot, just in general. I'm excited. Hopefully, we can get him for Barca. I know he doesn't really want to go, but we'll see about that. And then Marino, I think is also playing fantastic in the midfield, and Mikel Oya Oyarzabal is playing good. I think he's always been great, a top talent. on the wing, so I think that'll be very helpful. Um, but yeah, I just really have Sociedad winning that game. I just don't think PSG are a good team. I mean, Luis Enrique we'll see what Luis Enrique can do. But yeah, I have Real Sociedad winning this game. But last game at least, you know. Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid. I mean, what can we say about that game other than we know it's going to be a war probably. I think it's going to be very feisty. I think there's going to be a lot of yellow cards. I think this is what the Champions League is, and the best of the best going against the best of the best. Inter are sitting top of their league. A lot of people have Atletico still winning this game, but I think that Inter are the better team. I think at least that's what I've seen. I think that Thuram and Lautaro have a lot of firepower up top. I mean, Atletico also do, but I just don't see how their midfield is really going to compete with the midfield of Inter with Barella there, um, Henry Mkhitaryan, and then Shaganoglu there. He just I think is also about to resign or just resigned, and then um, Demarcos on their left, and then oh my god, his name escapes me right now. On the right side, their wing back from the Netherlands. Dumfries, it's Dumfries. But yeah, I think they're really good. And then Bastoni's also like locking down that center back position. And then Summers, very good goalkeeper. I just don't think they have enough. I mean, we'll see if Griezmann can literally do some magic, work his magic, and win this game. But I just don't see Atletico doing that. I think it is going to be very defensive heavy. I think it's going to be like we're going to see a 2-2 draw at one point, and then I think it's going to be like a 2-1 scrappy win by Inter. Inter is going to be able to pull it through. I think that's um, what we'll see. And I definitely almost forgot about the Borussia Dortmund game, but it's okay. Borussia Dortmund are going to go through, in my opinion. I know they're not going through the best season, but it's not like they have a tough like opponent PSV. I don't think PSV can do it. I mean, I know they're doing very well in the Eredivisie at the moment, but I mean, Dortmund is Dortmund, and we'll see what happens. But that one also is a very close game. I mean, Dortmund, I think have been creating chances a lot, like I said in the last video, but just haven't been finishing them. And I think with a little bit of time during this winter break, they might get those. Everything might be just being better. Like, they might tighten up at everything at every position. So that'll be very helpful. So the teams that I have going through are Real Madrid, City, Bayern, Borussia Dortmund, Inter, Sociedad, Barca, and Arsenal. So that is my like at least round of 16s prediction. It's very difficult to give you guys like, oh, who's gonna play who, because like again they have to redraw and everything. But I think that everyone's going to be foaming at the mouth to pretty much have Real Sociedad or Borussia Dortmund. I think those are the weaker teams that are probably going to go through. I think Inter are fairly strong. Barca are okay depending on how they are, but Barca might be somebody that people might be wanting to play a lot, which is surprising because Barca have had such a great European history. But I think right now they're not going through a great moment, as we know. So maybe that I don't really see Arsenal as title contenders. I think they'll probably get eliminated in the next round or the round after that, but I just don't see them going all the way. They're not a Champions League team. I think they're lacking a lot of experience, and this is an experience here for them. And hopefully, and their main focus should be winning the Prem. They kind of bottled it last year, and you know it's it. And right now, I think Liverpool are top of the league because of the win they have, but they have a game in hand. Arsenal do so. We'll see what happens there. Uh, then I think Madrid are good this year, but I just don't see them winning the Champions League. I think they don't have a striker, so I think that's their big issue. I know Jude's playing very well with Rodri, but also Vinicius being out for long, and then Camavinga being out, and then Tchouaméni being out for a while, and then Courtois being out, and then I think Militao is going to be out. It's a problem for them. So I just don't see them making a good deep Champions League push, especially if they're trying to win the La Liga. Um, City strong favorites still. I do think City could win it. again this year, they could repeat, which would be very impressive since Pep hasn't really won it since Barcelona, and he had a great Bayern squads. Let's not forget that. But he hadn't been able to get the job done. Um, I think City do have a strong chance depending on how form goes. I know they also should be focusing on the Prem because they're fourth, I think, at the moment, or fifth. Um, but they do have a game in hand. But we'll see what happens with them. I do see them making it at least to the semifinals, if not winning it all. Bayern, I think, are a very strong contender. I think Bayern actually are the favorites to win it by far. My pick is going to be Bayern this year. They do have a great striker. They have a great team all around, and I think Bayern can pretty much play everyone and yeah, like just beat them. I don't think Bayern I think all these teams. I don't think Bayern is not favored against. I think it would be a major upset whoever Bayern loses to this season in European Championship in the Champions League. So yeah, uh, then we'll be moving on to Inter. Inter, I think, are a great team. I think they, depending on who they play again, they might get past the next round. I think the people they probably get past by are Dortmund, Sociedad, Barca, and Arsenal. So, I mean, they have a good chance of at least making it to the next round. After that, the uh, quarter, no, it would be the semifinals. No, yeah, no, I think they'll make it to the quarterfinals at least. Um, so we'll see what happens there, but I do think that Inter have a really good chance of at least making it there, and then after that, we'll see. I mean, they just went to the Champions League last year. They're top of the Serie A. They're like in a battle with Juventus there, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But that team's hungry. That team has European experience now, so we'll see where how far they're able to go this year. Um, Real Sociedad, I think they're going to get eliminated on whoever they play. Pretty much, it's just tough for them with so much like with like the Copa del Rey coming up, Supercopa de España, and La Liga. Like it's a lot of competitions. They don't have that squad depth, that rotation. So I don't think they'll get make a really big push in Europe. And I think they should focus on the other competitions that they have because they're easier to win. I know that's a really bad way to look at it, but I think that's what they should do at least. Barcelona, hey man, Barcelona one day looks like the best squad in Europe, and then the next they look like they're terrible. So if Xavi can make them very consistent team, if Victor Roque is the second coming of R9, if we can get some signings to lock up the midfield in January, who knows? But I just at the moment I don't see them going past the next round. I think that should be it for them. And yeah, I mean that's tough. That's tough for us, Barca fans. But I think that's our ceiling for right now. We should focus on the league. We should see what we can do there. And yeah, but that's been my Champions League prediction. So I have Bayern winning, and I'm gonna say that City go to the final as well. So yeah, but yeah, thanks guys for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your guys' prediction is down here for the round of 16 at least. And then if you guys want, please tell me all your other predictions for what could happen and who you guys have winning. So yeah, well, take care, guys. See ya. Barca ball out. I'm an idiot. I need to do that.